All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to unpack an idea that completely flips the script on what you think power is. See, it's got nothing to do with being the loudest voice in the room. No, it's about being the calmest.
I love this metaphor. I mean, think about it. We're always told that being calm is, well, it's being passive, right? Weak. But this idea asks you to look at it differently. Picture that frozen lake. On top, it's just still, nothing. But underneath, there's a whole world teeming with life and energy. That's the kind of calm we're talking about.
And that brings us to the core idea of this whole thing. True calm, it's not about zoning out, not at all. It's concentrated power, just held perfectly in check. It's this quiet, almost intimidating strength. And you know what's wild? When you see it in someone, you feel it. It's like a primal thing. Okay, so let's get into our first section. We're gonna explore why this kind of stillness isn't just some nice little wellness trick. No, it's a legit superpower, especially in the crazy world we live in today.
And this is where we get to the heart of the problem, right? The world we live in, it feels like it's designed to make us react. It's built to keep us on edge, off balance. It basically wants to turn us all into puppets, with our strings being pulled by, well, everything.
And this phrase just, wow, emotional incontinence. It's a bit jarring, but it's so accurate, isn't it? It perfectly describes a world where we've kind of lost the ability to just hold it together. Our environment is constantly poking us, prodding us, just begging for a knee-jerk, unthinking reaction. And we're not talking about big, life-altering disasters here. No, look at this list. A text message that's taking too long to come through. Someone disagreeing with you online. A tiny little setback. A notification on your phone. How many times has one of these things completely derailed your day? This is the new battlefield, right here. And here's the real cost. This is so important. Every single time you react without thinking, you're basically giving away a little piece of your power. You're handing over the keys to your own mind to a social media app, a random stranger on the internet, or some tiny inconvenience. You're letting the outside world control your inside world, and that makes you smaller.
This really lays it out, doesn't it?
The choice is clear. You can be the puppet, all your nerves exposed, just jerking around based on whatever happens, or you can be the master, in control, calm, someone who responds to the world instead of just reacting to it. The big question is, how do you make that jump? All right, so let's get into the how. We see the problem, now let's talk about the solution. We're going to build a toolkit for forging that unshakable calm, for taking back the controls. But first, we have to get one thing straight. A pretty critical insight, actually. Why is this so rare? Simple. It's uncomfortable. I mean, getting angry is easy, right? Getting sucked into drama, that's the default setting. Real self-control, real power, that means facing discomfort. And let's be honest, most people just aren't willing to do that. And this is the goal. It's not about avoiding the fire. You can't avoid the tough conversations, the stressful moments, the things that trigger you. The goal is to be able to stand right in the middle of that fire, feel the heat on your skin, and not get burned. That's mastery. So, okay, how do we actually do it? Here are 4 super practical, super effective techniques. Number 1, the strategic pause. Just wait a second before you open your mouth. 2, control your breathing. Slow it down. It literally tells your brain everything is okay. 3, use silence. It's amazing how much people will reveal when you just let them talk into the quiet. And 4, this one is huge. Don't make big decisions when you're emotional, angry, scared, even super excited. And you've got to remember, your own biology is kind of working against you here. You have this ancient part of your brain, the amygdala, that's basically a hair trigger alarm system. So the work isn't to get rid of your emotions, that's impossible. The work is to create a little bit of space, just a tiny gap between the thing that happens and what you do next. That little gap, that's where all your power is. Okay, now for the fun part, the payoff, because this is where it gets really wild. When you master your own internal world, it doesn't just change you. It starts to have this profound, sometimes even unsettling effect on everyone and everything around you.
Let's play out a scenario here. Imagine you're in a tense confrontation. The other person is just losing it. You know the look. Their face is getting red, their voice is getting louder, their energy is just pure chaos. They are a human storm. And in that moment, what do? Something absolutely radical. You do nothing. You don't raise your voice. You don't get defensive. You refuse to match their energy. You just stand there, totally present, totally grounded. You become the calm eye in the middle of their hurricane. And then something amazing happens. Your composure, your stillness, it acts like a mirror. Suddenly, they have no one to fight against. Their anger has nowhere to go, so it just bounces right back at them. And they're forced to look at their own out-of-control behavior. In that instance, the entire power dynamic in the room just flips, and you didn't have to say a word. And look, this is about so much more than just winning an argument. This is a life-changing practice. Over time, you'll find you command respect without even trying. You make way better decisions when things get crazy. And what's really interesting is that you start to repel the chaos addicts, the drama magnets, and you attract people with real depth. Yeah, your circle might get smaller, but man, does it get stronger.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. Let's talk about the final transformation. This is the person you can actually become if you commit to this.
And here's the last metaphor to hold on to. The world is a raging river, right? It's full of chaos, drama, knee-jerk reactions, and most people are just getting swept away by the current. But not you. You become the stone in the river. Solid, unmoved. The water just rushes right past you, but you remain. Just picture yourself 5 years from now, really living this. A random insult on the internet, it's like a puff of air. A huge crisis at work, it's just a problem that needs solving. Your very energy starts to make everyone around you feel like things are manageable. You become the anchor. The ultimate goal here is to become someone whose silence is actually more powerful than most people's loudest speeches. Think about that for a second. That's real power. So I'll leave you with this question. The world is constantly demanding your reaction. Every ping, every headline, every little thing is asking for a piece of you. So the question is, what are you going to give them? Are you going to keep handing over your power? Or are you going to give them something else instead? Something they don't expect. Something powerful. Something calm.